What's going on, guys? Happy Friday. Jeff here with Torpedoes and Tarantulas, and today we're going to do a little bit of a collection update slash feeding video. I've got all my spiders out, as you can see, from my smallest, my two jumpers, to my biggest, my GBB Augie, and everything in between. So we're going to give you an update on three of these spiders that won't be fed on camera, and then we will feed the other three. So hang tight, guys. Let me get set up and we'll get this video started. Okay, so we will start this update video with my little jumper that I caught in my house. I've been keeping it in this little sling vial ever since. It's doing pretty well. It's made itself at home down in there. And I feed it those cricket hatchlings that I had. They're quite tiny, so they work out pretty well. It's food for it, but of course those crickets are growing quite quickly, so they may be too big for it pretty soon. And once that happens, I think I'll just turn him loose outside in the wild. That's where he belongs anyway. But there he is. At least I think it's a male. But there's my first jumper right there. Let me get set up and we'll check out the female in her egg sac. Hold on, guys. Okay, guys, and here is my female with her egg sac. She is hiding under the webbing there. The eggs have not hatched yet. So I keep an eye on them every once in a while. And she is now moving around. I did this earlier. I took a look at her and had the light on her, and she just got curious. And she poked her little face out and actually came all the way out and gave me a good look at her, which was really cool. Sorry about the focus, guys. Anyway, she's still doing her motherly duties and guarding her egg sac, and we look forward to having baby jumpers at any time. That's the update on my female jumping spider and her egg sac. Excuse me. One more update, and then we get to the good stuff, the feeding. Alright, and next up is my Brachypelma hamori. Not really much to update on it. It has, it had buried itself down in the enclosure, and there really wasn't any burrow entrance. I've had it for like 3 weeks now, and it's only been fed once. And of course, it hangs around down here in the bottom of its enclosure. And I just got to wondering about it, And so the other day, I took one of my little bamboo skewers, my little poker sticks, and I kind of poked the substrate out right down here in this cork bark, just in case it wanted to come out or it couldn't dig itself out. I don't know why I thought that, because if it dug itself in there, it could dig itself out. But then I caught a small lateralis roach, pre-killed it, laid it in there, and it appears to have eaten about half of it. So, I don't know. Not a whole lot of action out of this guy. Again, it's pretty small. It's only about a half an inch. And for right now, sorry about the focus again, guys. For right now, I think I'm going to name it Tiny, because that's what it is. So that's my update on my Brachypelma hamori. That's all of the updates. Now it's time for some feedings, guys. Okay, guys, so we will start this feeding with my juvenile adult male Chromatopelma cyanine pubescens Augie. He never disappoints in his feedings, and he's such a beautiful animal. Now, the other day, I emailed Jamie from Jamie's Tarantulas, which is where I got this tarantula, and I emailed her and sent her a picture of this big boy, and I told her, that he was doing well. He's 3.5-inch male now, and thanks so much for everything. And she emailed me back and said, he looks good. You've done a great job with him. She said, if you're interested in the near future, you can trade him for a sling, because they're always interested in male GBBs. She said, but to be honest, there's always a demand for mature male GBBs, so I wouldn't have any problem selling him. Or she would be offering adult female GBBs in the next week or so. And so now I've got to think on that and figure out what I'm going to do. But for the time being, we're just going to feed him. And I've got a big female lateralis here that he will probably enjoy. Absolutely no delay on that takedown. as usual. He never disappoints with his feedings. I really am interested in getting a slaying of possibly another tarantula that I want, or getting an adult female green bottle blue, but this is my first tarantula. He's such a beautiful animal. It's going to be hard to get rid of him, but I may decide to do that here in the near future. But that has been Augie, my juvenile male GBB. Okay, guys, and here we have my H. pulchripes, my golden blue leg baboon. Such a beautiful tarantula as well. If you haven't figured out by watching some of my videos, I'm really into the display tarantulas. Not really big on the big giant bird eaters and things that may change later on, but for right now, I really dig the display tarantulas, the beautiful tarantulas. Unfortunately, I wish this one was out a lot more. It is not, but when it is out, it's really a sight to see, and it's being bashful right now, so we'll just wait patiently for a little while. It's actually throwing up a little bit of a threat posture down in its burrow right now. If you haven't seen it yet, I did make a short video yesterday evening on this tarantula because it was actually out, and it stayed out after I took the lid off and everything, which I thought was really cool. So I got some good video of it so you could see it. Okay, here it comes. What a beautiful spider. I mean, look at this guy. Or gal. Hopefully it's a gal. Very nice takedown. And a beautiful spider. Okay, we've got one more feeding, guys. And last but not least, guys, here we have my newest pickup. This is my Brachypelma auratum. Now, when I first started looking into getting tarantulas a couple of years ago, doing research on different spiders and things like that, there were, of course, quite a few that caught my eye. The Brachypelma hamori is a beautiful tarantula, of course, and it's a staple in the hobby world, if you will, or whatever. I noticed that the Brachypelma auratum was just as beautiful, if not, in my opinion, even more beautiful. And so I thought it would be really cool to have one of those. But of course, when I first looked into getting tarantulas, there wasn't any in stock, and so I just kind of forgot about it. Got my GBB, and I got my H. pulchripes, and then I got my Brachypelma hamori, and then the other day, or actually about a week and a half ago, I noticed that Jerry De La Cruz from Nature's Exquisite Creatures, who sold me my H. pulchripes, had the Brachypelma auratum in stock, and I thought, I'm getting one of those on payday. And well, he actually sold out midweek before I could actually get one, so I was totally bummed and devastated. Did some more searching, and I found a couple of other places that had them, but they weren't really tarantula breeders and vendors. They were reptile stores, but I decided to take a shot. I bought this guy from Reptile Rapture out of Wisconsin, and they shipped it to a FedEx ship center rather than my home, so I had to go pick it up. Was really anxious and nervous about it when I did the unboxing because it's from a reptile store, but it did arrive alive and well, and I couldn't be more thrilled. I'm so stoked on this tarantula now. It's such a beautiful tarantula, and I'm really looking forward to years of enjoyment with this thing. As soon as I housed it the other day, it spent quite a bit of time sprawled out on the side of the enclosure, which was great because I was able to get a measurement on it. It's right at about 3 inches, and I was able to check it ventrally, and although I'm not an expert, unfortunately, it looks like it may be a male, but we will wait until we get a molt, and then we can see for sure. Now, yesterday evening, I went in to check on it, and it was up on the lid here, and hanging on the screen part, and I kept trying to get it off of there, and it wouldn't come off, so I pulled the lid off, angled it down in the enclosure so that it would, come off of the enclosure. Where'd that other mealworm goes? Hang on. Where's that other mealworm? Hold on, guys. I need to find this other mealworm. I don't want it to burrow. Okay, guys, I'm back. Well, it seems that that mealworm has vanished. I don't know where the heck it went, and it may have burrowed down in there, but I can't even tell where the heck it went. So we'll be keeping a close eye on this thing because I really don't want it to pupate and turn into a beetle and try to battle with my tarantula. Anyway, as I was saying, it was on the lid last night. I was trying to shoo it out of the lid, or off of the lid, excuse me, and it ran down into the enclosure, did like a lap and a half around the inside of the enclosure, up and out onto the outside of its enclosure here. I got a catch cup out, cupped it against the side of the enclosure, slowly raised the cup upwards to get it to come back into the top of the enclosure, and right about the time it was getting to the top of the enclosure, it had other ideas, darted out of the catch cup, around on the outside of it, up onto the back of my hand. And so I set the catch cup down and just stood there for a little bit, and it was just sitting there just chill, and I was in awe. So I just stood there looking at it, because this is a beautiful tarantula, and like I said, I've really been wanting one of these. This was a dream tarantula for me, so it was just really cool to have that little moment. And then it started walking, and I spent the next 15-20 minutes with this thing walking from hand to hand. It was such a cool experience, kind of a bonding experience. Now, of course, I don't condone the handling. That is a highly debated topic in the hobby. Some people will condone, handling. Some people will not. I normally don't handle my tarantulas, unless I have to. This being a new tarantula and being one of my dream tarantulas, and it was just so chill. I thought it was just such a cool moment. And it just kind of went from hand to hand there. And then at one point, it caught a breath or something, and it darted up my left arm, back onto the back of my shoulder, where I could not see it. Fortunately, I got my phone out. Okay, apparently it doesn't want another mealworm right now. I will try to feed it another mealworm later. Anyway, so I got my phone out and put it on selfie so I could see where the heck this thing was, and I located it. And right about the time I located it on the back of my shoulder, something happened, spooked it again, and it darted up the side of my neck and onto my left ear. Let me tell you, y'all, it was everything I could do not to flip out and go to swatting at my head, but I just remained calm. Within a second or so, it actually ran up into my hair, and I could feel it moving around there on top of my head, and I just laid my hand up on top of my head. It walked on top of my hand. I put it back in the enclosure, and I haven't handled it since. This has been my spider collection update and feeding video. I hope you guys really enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Drop me a line in the comments. Subscribe. Share this with your friends. If you don't have any tarantulas, go and get some. They're a really cool pet to have. I really enjoy keeping them. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Take care. God bless, and good night, y'all.